to First University's 13th Sabbath celebration, and I'm here as your head Sabbath school superintendent, wanting to know what your favorite week was this entire quarter. This quarter we learned about glimpses of God, and God is an author, God is a potter, and even God of love. So I want to know, what was your favorite week, and how did it impact you, and how has it changed your life?
My favorite story for this quarterly was Love Stories, the second to last one. And the reason is because when you look at the lesson and everything else, it truly depicts God's character, ultimately, which is love. And so when I look at God's love and the ultimate sacrifice He made for me and everybody else, it makes me take a closer look at who I am, my selfish nature, and it draws me to Him. And it draws me, it compels me to change. It compels me and it humbles me. So this is why Love Stories was my favorite.
My favorite lesson was prayer. The reason why it was my favorite, it does keep me closer to God. And when I pray to Him, I always get a different feeling, an inner feeling that makes me feel complete, knowing that I am getting closer to God.
My favorite lesson for this quarter has to be lesson 10, the promise of prayer. It really stood out to me that even Jesus needed to pray. And that really resounded to me, because if Jesus needs to pray, how much more do I need to pray? Praying more has impacted my life in several ways. One, it makes me realize how much more I really need God and where I am. And it also gives me such peace, no matter what I'm going through. When I have a good prayer life with God, I just have peace in the midst of any storm.
My favorite lesson is God as Redeemer. It's affected me because for a very long time I was terrified about the wrath of God. I couldn't quite love the concept of God and Him loving me because of how much I read and understood the wrath and how angry, justifiably, but angry nonetheless. But then I read this, and prior to this as well, I understood that it says Christ didn't die in order to create love in God's heart for us. It says, no, Jesus insists that the Father's love is the source, not the consequence. And that's hit me hard and stayed with me since I read that lesson. The wrath of God is justified, but the love that He has for us and the fact that He gave His Son as a source of His love in order to cover us in His blood, it speaks immensely.
I've actually been studying the lesson from the Cornerstone, and we've been studying the Kings and Prophets this quarter, and my favorite lesson was on February 4th, and it's titled Confessions of the Foolish Wise Men. It impacted my life in a way because through discussion with some of the kids, and this is teenager class, we began to talk about confessions and the top 10 reasons why confessions are difficult. And some of the reasons that we discovered was guilt, shame, consequences. But the number one reason that they admitted was that deep down inside, they didn't want to turn away from their sinful ways, simply because they enjoyed it.
So you just have the chance to listen to different people talk about their favorite part of the quarterly this quarter. And so this quarter we have a brand new one. It's evangelism and witnessing. And we're actually going to get a chance to learn about evangelism and how to properly use it. And that's going to, of course, help us when we go door to door. So I'm going to ask you, what do you do to evangelize? Because that's what we're here for anyway, right? To save souls and to bring them to Jesus. Happy Sabbath, and remember, 9:15 Sabbath is a place to be. Happy Sabbath.